Day 8 of the countdown to Christmas, and today we're making peanut butter balls. So on with the recipe. Hey everybody, Denise with Lacey K Homestead. Well, I hope you had a great day. My day was kind of crazy. I started it out this morning about 7 out to feed the turkeys and chickens and the rabbits and the quail, dogs, cats. And it was pouring rain. We've had such rain in Tennessee, and I think we're in for a whole bunch more. Well, anyway, I got down to the turkeys. I've got some that are free range and then some that are in a pasture that's covered with the black netting so they can't get out and things can't get in. Well, that had completely collapsed. I guess from the wind, and there was leaves on top and a big branch. So I had to go in there and fix all that. Part of the homestead life in the pouring rain. I wouldn't have minded it, but it was in the pouring rain and muddy, and man, what a mess. But they're all safe and sound, so yay. And then I got to the rabbits and the quail and got them all taken care of. The chickens are fine. It was raining so hard that the chickens actually stayed in their coop. So that is really something for our chickens because they're usually out running around. That matter that a wet hen, old wives' tale, doesn't go with our chickens. Well, anyway, today I'm back in the kitchen. Today I'm going to make Willis's grandmother's peanut butter balls. Now, some people call these Buckeyes, and I'm not sure if it's like the same recipe or not because I looked online to kind of compare because I like to do that just to see. And I've seen that a lot of the Buckeye recipes have ground graham crackers in them. So I'm wondering if that's the difference. This is a very old-fashioned recipe. And all it calls for is powdered sugar, butter, vanilla, lots of peanut butter. And I think that's about it. And of course, the chocolate that you dip it in. So it's a really simple recipe. It does have to be chilled for a while before you dip it in your chocolate, but we'll get to that in a little bit. So let's go ahead and just put this together. And let's see, I think you guys may be able to see what I'm doing. Hold on, let me adjust my tripod. Okay, this recipe is super easy. And you start off with 1 cup of butter, which is 2 sticks. I'll go ahead and put that in there. Softened, of course, butter. You can use margarine too if you want to. And get that in there. And then it takes 1.5 cups of peanut butter. I use creamy. This recipe is so yummy because to me it tastes like a Reese cup. Okay, let me go ahead and get that butter mixed around there. All right. I always like just to fluff it up a little bit before I put in anything else. So now we're going to put our 1.5 cup of creamy peanut butter. Oh, and it takes vanilla too. So 4 ingredients, not counting the chocolate that you have to dip them in. Okay. You can see me doing that. All right, we'll go ahead and mix that up into that butter. All nicely mixed together. So you can't see any more butter. So of course I'll be scraping down the sides there in a minute. Boy, it smells like a peanut butter factory in here. Mmm. Look how nice and creamy that is with the butter. Wow. Go and give that another mix real fast. Now this recipe makes a lot of peanut butter balls. Depending on how big you want them, will really dictate how many you make. So I think, if my memory serves me right, it makes about 6 or 7 dozen, and I make these about an inch round. Now I'm just spooning in some powdered sugar, and I'll mix that around. Now again, this is going to be really thick. Try to go on low here. So the next time I'm on Amazon, I'm going to try to see if I can order one of these scrapers that attaches to this paddle attachment. See how thick that is already? And I still have a lot more to go. Let's see, and the vanilla is 1 teaspoon. And I'll add that at the very end. Man. Whoa. I'm glad I have an apron on today. Yesterday when I made a video, I didn't have an apron on. And I could see that I already had flour all over me. I am a mess. Messy cook. Now I'm going to go ahead and just pour the rest. And this was 6 cups of powdered sugar. And I'm going to go ahead and add the 1 teaspoon of vanilla, because that will help it all mix well. Doesn't take a whole lot of moisture for powdered sugar. Alright, let me see. Lock that real fast. Hear it bogging down. Okay. Just a little bit more. Alright. I think we are where we want to be. Look at that. Oh man. I know it tastes awesome. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to, of course, get all of this off the beater. And I'm going to put some plastic wrap over my bowl and stick it in the refrigerator for a couple hours till it gets really nice and chilled. Because what we're going to do after that is we're going to go ahead and roll them into balls, and then we will dip them in our wonderful chocolate. Oh man. And that's fun. I really enjoy that. This weekend we're going to go up to Kelly's and we're going to help her make some cookies and candy. She is 5 months pregnant. No, wait a minute. 6 months pregnant. So Willis and I are going to go up there and help her make all that. She's got the 2 little ones that are running around. Plus we'll have fun. So I think we'll do a little video with that too. All right, y'all. I'm going to go ahead and stick this in the fridge and I'll be back in a couple hours. Okay, guys, it's been a couple hours later and I've got my peanut butter centers that I'm going to make the centers of the peanut butter balls out of the fridge, and they're nice and cold. So what I'm going to do next is roll them into balls. So let me go ahead and put the tripod down so you can see what I'm going to do. Okay, before I go ahead and roll these into balls, we need to melt our chocolate or get it started to melt. Now you can either do this in a double boiler or in the microwave, but I choose to do it in this cute little crock pot that Kelly got me a couple years ago for Christmas, and I just love it. And this is perfect for melting chocolate for something like this. So I'm going to use a half a bag of almond bark. Let me put this on low. And you can keep it on warm after it's melted. Put that in there, and then I know I'm going to need a lot of chocolate, so I'm going to use 1 bag of Hershey's chips. Go ahead and open that bag. And I'm just going to pour that in there. And this little crock pot works great. Just works great. And you can have it right here at the table with you when you're ready to dip. Okay. So what I'm going to do now, got my peanut butter mixture. And I have got the non-stick foil that I had told you about. It's Reynolds, called non-stick, which really works great. I think I'm going to keep this on hand all the time. And you could use parchment paper if you wanted to. I prefer to line my cookie sheet because that way I don't have to worry about cleaning the cookie sheet. And the less cleaning, the better off I am. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and sit this here. And with my clean hands, I'm just going to take some of this peanut butter mixture and I'm going to kind of press it together because this is a very dry mixture and you can see how dry it is. But that's normal. You know, if you've ever eaten a Reese cup and you bite into it and it's kind of a dry mixture of peanut butter, this is really exactly what that is. So I'm just going to go ahead. I know you can't see what I'm doing. Let me go ahead and put this here. So I'm just going to go ahead and roll these out. And, you know, I think what I'm going to do is after I've got them rolled out, I'm going to go ahead and put them back in the fridge just to chill them a little bit more. Because even though it's been a couple hours, these aren't super cold. And remember, you're going to dunk these in this hot chocolate. So you want to make sure that you're not melting this peanut butter mixture because it's got that butter and peanut butter in there. And don't worry, I will show you exactly what I'm going to do when I'm ready for that stage. But this is a really fun recipe. You could make this with your kids or your grandkids. And I think they would just have a blast, especially doing all the rolling out. I wish I had him here with me right now because I'd say, roll out all these balls, guys. Grandma's tired. She had to chase turkeys this morning. My free-ranging turkeys, oh gosh, they were knocking at the door. They get on the porch in the morning, knocking at the door for their food at 6 o'clock this morning. I think they own me. They know I'm a soft touch. So that's what happens in my life on my homestead. Tonight it's still raining very heavy, and I noticed that we've only got 3 free ranging, but that's enough. And they usually roost on top of one of our sheds, and I noticed that all 3 of them went in tonight. I guess they were tired of being drenched with rain. I don't blame them. Guess they finally got start. They followed the chickens in. They used to go in anyways when they were little, but then they got bigger and thought, well, we're just going to go ahead and roost on top. Okay, well, I'm just going to go ahead and stop here and fill the rest of my cookie sheet, stick it back in the fridge while the chocolate is melting. I've got it on low. I think I'll turn it on high, then I'll keep it on warm, and I'll be back as soon as I'm ready to dip. Okay, guys, we're ready to dunk the peanut butter balls. They're nice and chilled. And I wanted to show you up close and personal how nice and melted that chocolate is. And that's what you want it to be. Completely melted. I'm going to go ahead and put it on warm. And we are going to start dunking. So what I do is I got a fork in here. You can use a toothpick or a skewer, but I find that a fork works just as fine for me. I've been doing this for years now. And see how I just let that strip off of there. And you want to make sure that you really get off all the excess chocolate. And you just pour it onto your, let me see if I can get that down here so you can see what I'm doing. Pour it onto your tray. And then I'm just going to go ahead and put another one in there. Get all that excess chocolate off of there. And then you just put that right on your tray. And you just continue to do this until they're all done. And like I said, this makes about 6 dozen. So it takes quite a while to do this. Now, if you don't want to do all of that at one time, this peanut butter mixture freezes very well. I wrap it in foil. I take it out of the bowl, and then I wrap it in foil, and then I wrap it in saran wrap. And I have kept it in the freezer for up to 3 months, and it tastes just fine, and it molds just fine. Of course, you have to thaw it out and let it get to the point where you can work it, but it does really well. So I'm going to go ahead and continue to dunk these. I hope you like this recipe. It's one of our favorites, and this is actually one of Willis's favorite candies. The coconut balls, or as his grandma used to call it, fondant, even though this day and time fondant is a completely different thing. It's a covering for cakes. I wonder why they called it that back in the day. Like I said, she would have been 100 years old in, well, she was 100 years old in 2019. I never got to ask her, and she may not have known, but that was an old family recipe as well. It's just kind of funny how people call things differently throughout the generations. You know, when you don't know why it changed. It's kind of interesting to me. But I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. If y'all have any questions about this recipe, don't hesitate to ask in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. And thanks again for all my new subscribers, all the comments. I really appreciate you guys watching our videos. And hopefully this weekend I'll get Willis to do a couple more videos with me. He's always fun. He makes me laugh. Anyways, signing off. Have a great night. Bye. See you tomorrow.